Welcome, Legion. I'd like to talk to you guys about exercise selection for rehabilitation. So when we're thinking about rehabilitation, we need to be very specific with our exercise selection, and there's definitely some exercises that are going to be more helpful than others. I'd also like for you to think about the whole program, so not just the rehab exercises. We can actually use an injury, as unfortunate as it is, as an opportunity to work on some other things while we might be injured. So for example, let's say we have a lower limb injury, we've hurt our ankle, we've sprained our ankle. We actually can use our upper body, we can still use that, and we can use the other leg. So maybe what we might do is work on our bench press for a little bit. We might have been in season, we haven't had a lot of opportunity to load up the bench press very heavy, but now you've got 6 to 8 weeks kind of downtime working on your rehabilitation of your ankle, but you can also at the same time work on your upper body strength. Why not? It's a great time to do it. You can work on the other leg's strength, and then as your rehabilitation starts to progress with your ankle, when you start to become more capable, you can still continue these things going. And then by the end of it, you've not only just rehabbed your ankle, you've now got a bigger bench stress, your upper body is stronger. Now you're a more capable athlete. To do this, we suggest that you seek strong, sound advice. The best people to go for this is going to be a physiotherapist, and in conjunction, a strength and conditioning coach. Ideally, between the two, they can work out the perfect rehab plan for you. You've got the nice balance of someone who's studied for 4+ years specifically how to rehabilitate different injuries. They've got such a vast knowledge on the ins and outs of the human body that they can help you when it gets damaged and help you get back to a fully healed and repaired state. The strength and conditioning coach can help you return to performance. There's obviously going to be some deconditioning because you're going to have some downtime to allow the healing process to happen. So the strength and conditioning coach is either going to keep you going, like I just mentioned with the upper body, they're going to keep that going, maybe even make improvements in that area. And then when you're ready to progress with the rehabilitation of your specific injury, they will then start to incorporate that in and ideally get you back to returning to performance. So when you go back to your sport, you're playing at your absolute best. We kind of view rehab as a bit of a continuum. So if we've got elite performance up this end, and we've got rehab up this end, essentially it just works on one timeline. So if we're trying to get here, we're just slowly working our way back. This is what we can currently do. Awesome. This is where we're at. Then you want to build complexity from there. So if these are the nice, simple, pain-free exercises, start with that and then build and progress towards your more advanced exercises. These are probably happening towards the back end of your rehab. I also suggest that you just meet yourself where you're at as well. You don't necessarily need the most fancy equipment or the most fancy exercises to get you back to sport. If it's too advanced for you before you got injured, it's probably still too advanced at this stage. But if you have the time and use the opportunity, you might actually be able to be more capable, so you might have more exercise repertoire, more movement vocabulary by the time you've actually finished your rehab. And this is what I'm talking about. Making the opportunities. Take those opportunities. This might be the only time where you get this extended period of time to work on yourself as an athlete, outside of the off season obviously. So it obviously depends on how long we've got. We can progress quite quickly if it's a really short injury. We start with the simplest of exercises, things that are pain-free and you can complete with really good confidence, and then build yourself up. And you might be able to do this quite quickly. It will also depend on what you were capable of before you got injured. Again, we're going to use the help of our physio and our strength and conditioning coach to make these decisions for us. Along the way, it's really important to set goals and targets. And ideally, the physio and the strength and conditioning coach has indicator exercises for you. So for example, let's say we've had a hamstring strain. Some actual hamstring exercises might be okay. Let's say it's a low grade and maybe a body weight bridge, hamstring bridge off a box might be okay, might not cause you any pain. If that's the case, Well, let's do that. Let's do that exercise. 3 sets of 10. Let's load it up. Let's get some blood flow into the tissue. This is going to promote recovery. Then once you can do that really confidently, let's try a small progression. Let's go from 2 legs to maybe 1 leg and see how that works. Again, if it feels fine and doesn't cause any discomfort, let's load it up. Let's do our 3 sets of 8 to 10. Then we can slowly just start to progress the exercise intensity into maybe a slider eccentric curl, a Nordic hamstring curl. We can take the progression as far as we want. Then over time, we've used these exercises as indicators, like, well, if I can do this, surely I should be able to start running. Yes, we can start running. Let's give that a go. Once I've completed running, now let's do it at a higher intensity. Yep, higher intensity was fine, excellent. Let's build up, let's try some sprint work. Sprint work was fine. Then you would integrate into training. All right, let's start to express some of these capabilities in a semi-controlled environment, which is sports training. Once you've completed enough sports training, realistically, it is a decision between the physio and yourself, but you should be able to return to sport with confidence as well. And if you've made the right progressions and progressed your training load appropriately, you should actually return better than when you first got injured. Hopefully that helped, guys. Appreciate your time.